Hey, fans, I'm Thomas Mott. Welcome to Philadelphia Eagles Now. We're jumping into an Eagles-Cowboys preview. Is it a must-win for Philadelphia on Monday night? We'll talk about that in a second. First, though, we're represented by your friends at BetQL. Go to chatsports.com/EaglesQL/ and use the discount code ChatEagles for 25% off any of their subscription offerings. More info later on in the video down below in the description box. All right, it's Dallas Hate Week. Kind of doesn't feel like Dallas Hate Week. Like, I'm pumped for the game. Not a lot of people on Twitter are very pumped for the game, and what turns out to be a very critical early matchup in the Eagles schedule on the road against the Dallas Cowboys, where Dallas is currently 3.5-point favorites. And you go back to the past couple of years, and the Eagle and Cowboy games have been split. 2-2 are Philadelphia, and I guess Dallas as well over the past couple of seasons. And this becomes a game that has a lot of implications going forward, because it's not just a divisional matchup, because obviously divisional matchups are big, but I think it's very clear Philadelphia and Dallas are the two best teams in the NFC East. Can the Giants and Washington make ground? Sure, but I don't see a lot of that I like in the Giants. I think both those teams are going to lose this weekend, too. I think the Washington has Buffalo, the Giants have Atlanta, and so I think this is a really big preview and a really big matchup for Philadelphia to hopefully show the rest of the national media, who are in love with the Cowboys right now, that the Eagles are legit and that they are a real threat in the NFC East. And it's a very, I think, favorable matchup for Philadelphia in some aspects: offensive line, defensive line, secondary. But the real question is going to be, can Jalen Hurts go toe-to-toe with Dak Prescott, who has been, we'll talk about this in just a second, really, really good over the past couple of games, despite what the stats will tell you. The eye test says Dak has been good. I hate admitting that, but it is true. First, though, pin count. Let's get started. Predict the score down below. My score prediction comes a little later in the video. I want your score prediction in the pin comment down below right now. Give me it now. All right, I mentioned Dak Prescott, and I'm not a big Dak Prescott fan, but I do respect how great he has really been pre-ankle injury and then now post-ankle injury. He was really good in that loss to the Bucs. I mean, we almost won him that football game. But even last week against the Chargers, the stats say he wasn't great, but the eye test says he actually was. The big thing with Dak right now, and I think Jalen Hurts can take maybe a page from Dak Prescott's playbook here, is that Dak is extremely accurate. 23 of 27 against a very good Charger defense, 237 yards, no touchdowns, but did throw that one pick, a little bit of an air ball there. That's probably one of his worst throws of the entire day. But Dak has been extremely good against very good defenses. And we pivot this to saying that Philadelphia, their defense is the best I've seen in years, and had a really, really good, I mean, they've had a really good past 2 weeks, but even a really good week against Jimmy Garoppolo, who, again, didn't play very well against Philadelphia. Garoppolo had like 189 yards and 1 touchdown. The big factor for Philadelphia, I think, is that they've been unable to get stops in key moments. You think back to the third and fourth quarter of that 49er game last week. There were, the missed fumble, I should say, and then that pitch back to the running back who dropped it, and then, of course, the Derek Barnett, it was a 15-yard penalty, whatever it was, the push, and then, of course, not being able to get turnovers. I think Darius Slay and company have got to be able to get an interception of a Dak Prescott. I think the front four, we'll talk about this a little bit later on in my keys to the game, have got to get after Dak Prescott, because this defense is really good, but they need to be really good in a win against a really good football team that could have come last week against the 49ers. This is going to be a great test for Philadelphia's defense against Dak Prescott. Quickly here on Jalen Hurts. Hurts just has to keep doing what he's done the first 2 games. Not turn the football over. He hasn't done that yet so far. And keep making plays with his legs on the outside. The one thing I want to see Hurts do a little bit more of is hit the big play. I mean, he has not done a very good job of throwing the football down the field. Had a really good throw in the game against the 49ers early, the Quez Watkins 91-yarder, but then missed Devontae Smith on a later touchdown pass that would have been a walk-in touchdown had he made the throw. So a couple of more accurate deep throws that I'm looking for from Jalen Hurts in this football game. Now, again, slowing down Dak, that's the big factor. Do you think Philadelphia can do that defensively? Drop a like down below if the Eagles can slow down Dak Prescott. If you agree with that, give this video a thumbs up. As I mentioned earlier, of course, we're brought to you guys by BetQL. They have this thing called the Bet computer model, which scans 350,000 unique bets per year, and they do a really good job about giving you the best bets of the week. So they have their 5-star bets, their 4-star bets, their 3-star bets, and I've been using them to so far have a positive number. I'm in the green in my bets so far this season. Go to chatsports.com/EaglesQL/. Get started now. Use that discount code ChatEagles at payment. Get 25% off any of their subscription offerings. Get the app downloaded, sign up, and then, of course, use our link to go ahead and get that discount code as well and get to hopefully winning some bets and winning some money and bidding out your sports book. Okay, we'll quickly get into some Dallas Cowboy injuries because they are very banged up on the defensive side of the football. Marcus Lawrence, obviously, out with that broken foot. He will not play. Keanu Neal has COVID. He's kind of their hybrid linebacker safety coming over from Atlanta. Dan Quinn loves this guy. Got an interception last week. He might not play on Monday based on what I'm hearing out of Big D, although all he has to do now is produce 2 negative tests within 24 hours apart in order to go ahead and play. So he's on the list. He might play Monday. He might not. Dorrance Armstrong, when there are other defensive ends, he is out with an ankle injury. And then, of course, Carlos Watkins has a knee injury, and he's not expected to play either. And so that's 4 big contributors on the defense, 4 of your 11 starters, essentially, at this point, who might not be playing out there. Again, we'll see what happens with Keon O'Neal. That means that Micah Parsons, the rookie linebacker out of Penn State, who Philadelphia, from what I heard, widely considered drafting at number 10 overall in the NFL drafts, he will be playing a lot of defensive end, as he did against the Chargers last week. And if you didn't watch that game, you can go back and watch the film. Micah Parsons was incredible from a pass rushing perspective. I mean, this is a true middle linebacker, and he was putting his hand on the ground and rushing the passer. I think he had a sack in that game, a lot of pressures. He was very, very disruptive, and so I'm very curious to see what's going to happen in terms of blocking and slowing down what is a banged-up but still effective Cowboy pass rush. Now, the Eagles' offensive line, it's banged up as well. We talked about this. Brandon Brooks is not going to play in this game. Landon Dickerson, the rookie out of Alabama, will get a start at right guard. I'm not too concerned about him, and I think the offensive line as a whole have been really, really good. And go back to the left side, Jordan Mailata, he had 0 pressures, 0 hurries, and 0 sacks last week when facing Nick Bosa, who is arguably one of the best pass rushers in the National Football League. And so this is another opportunity, another area I think the Eagles can take advantage of when they go ahead and play Dallas, is that they can protect Jalen Hurts really well, hopefully, and then maybe get the running game going a little bit more than they've done the past couple of weeks. Miles Sanders has got to get going. I want to see a 100-yard day out of Miles Sanders. I think Philadelphia should come out early in this game, running the football, establishing the run, slowing down that Cowboy pass rush, and hitting them right in the mouth and saying, hey, we're here. We're just going to go up and manhandle you on the front, with our front 5, with our offensive line. If they can get the running game going, they have a really good chance to then play action, to boot, get Jalen Hurts running out on the edge, and hopefully find Devontae Smith and Quez Watkins deep in the end zone for what hopefully will be a lot of touchdowns come Monday night. All right, we'll get into my keys of the game here before we go ahead and finish this video. First, though, quick shout out to our friends at BetMGM. Go to chatsports.com/EaglesMGM/ and sign up and create an account to get your official BetMGM account. Put $10 into the account, bet the $10, then you'll get a free year of BetQL. We talked about that a little bit earlier on in this video. BetMGM is the best place to be betting on all of your sports, so get your deposit in. Again, go to our link, chatsports.com/EaglesMGM/, bet in that $10 and then get your free year of BetQL. That way you can make the most out of the $10 that you put in there, or any more you go ahead and throw into your betting account. All right, here we go. Keys to the game. Very simple here. Number 1, score in the red zone. Let's see some competent red zone plays. If Philadelphia gets the ball anywhere inside the 10, I need 6. I need touchdowns. I don't need field goals, and I sure as heck don't need, 4th down, missed opportunity, non-conversions from the Eagles offense. Figure out how to score in the red zone. If you'd done it last week, you'd be 2-0. Do it this week the way you finish up 2-1. Number 2, you've seen this a lot on ESPN because they love talking about the Dallas Cowboys, but Tony Pollard has been fantastic. You got to slow down Pollard and Zeke. They were iffy in the first game against the Bucs. They had less than 100 yards rushing. Last week against the Chargers, the two combined for 198. And Tony Pollard had over 100 yards on 13 carries. He's the explosive back now. Zeke's their short yardage guy. Pollard is really the workhorse, or at least should be, in my opinion, in Dallas. So you got to slow down the rushing attack. Philadelphia did a decent job last week. Can they do it again this week without Brandon Graham, who is a great pass rusher, but also very good against the run? Okay, something I talked about in a news and rumor video earlier this week. Key number 3, get the tight ends more involved. Let's see some Dallas Goedert and Zach Ertz action. They are still really good, and yet they barely are getting targets so far this year. Goddard had 1 catch last week. I mean, these are 2 of your better pass catchers and two of your just better weapons in general. Get the tight ends involved. We need to see them have a big game. I'm hoping Ertz or Goddard are going to have a very big game down there in Big D. Number 4, we mentioned this earlier, hit the big plays. I know the Rager throw was technically a good throw by Jalen Hurts, but guess what? It didn't count. So in reality, you only hit on 1 big play last week. We need to see some more big plays on Monday night. Stretch the football field. I think Dallas' secondary is susceptible to stretching the football. I think that the Bucs showed that. I think that Jalen Hurts has the arm to do so. Got to make some accurate throws. If you have opportunities to take shots on the football field, you got to make those and convert, because they go a long way to actually winning a football game. Finally, again, talked about a little bit earlier, get after Dak Prescott. This offensive line is a little bit banged up for the Dallas Cowboys. It's still good, but Dak struggles, like most quarterbacks do, whenever you have pressure in his face. That means the replacements for Brandon Graham, Josh Sweat, Derek Barnett, Ryan Kerrigan, you've got to play better. Do any of them have a sack right now? No. They are struggling mightily to get after the quarterback from a DN perspective. Javon Hargrave is really the only real player who's getting consistent pressure on this defensive line. Get after Dak Prescott. If you put him on his back, if you get him moving around and get him, thrown to the ground, it's going to go a long way for Philadelphia to win this game. I am, of course, going to predict that the Eagles win the game. I think I'm still very high on Philadelphia. I'm going to take the Eagles beat the Cowboys. It's going to be close, though. It's going to be a nail-biter, and it's going to be the game that we all are, heart palpitating the entire time. Philly 20, Dallas 17, a big NFC East win, getting us ready for what is a very difficult stretch coming up over the next 5 weeks in the National Football League. I say Eagles 20, Cowboys 17. Give me your score prediction down below in the comments section, though, right now. I want to see what your score prediction will be. All right, ultimate for today here on our Philadelphia Eagles preview video. We'll do a mailbag video coming up, I think, on Saturday, so stay tuned for that. I already got the questions polled, so stay tuned to see if your question is going to be answered on that one. And, of course, make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. This is the best one-stop shop for everything regarding your Philadelphia Eagles. Over 20,000 of you guys strong. We're approaching 21,000 subscribers, and I appreciate, again, each and every one of you. Again, for Philadelphia Eagles now, go Birds on Monday night. We need the big win, baby. They got to win this game. I'm Thomas Mont, signing off. Enjoy the rest of your day.